What's up, guys? This is me, and I'm coming to you with a brand new deck profile. And today I want to show you guys my updated Vendread deck profile. I've been playtesting this a lot. I love this deck. It is so much fun. Omega is a great card. Slayer is actually surprisingly pretty damn good. So yeah, let's get into it. I built this deck specifically to be faster and to keep up with the meta. I'd say it's a very solid tier 2 deck at the moment. It is very good, and hopefully we get really good support that'll make it even better. So anyway, let's get into it. For the Vendreads, we're playing 3 Slayer. This card is, as standalone as a ritual monster, it's decent. It's okay. Being able to banish a card from the graveyard is to gain attack is it's meh. But when it sends the graveyard, being able to send a Vendread card to the graveyard, that's a little bit more relevant, and I really like that aspect of it, where it lets you thin out your deck when it gets rid of. It helps you gain some advantage. Yeah, it's okay. Now, the real star of the Vendread cards is this one. Hound Horde is actually, I think, the best card. And it's not because it helps the Vendread deck out. It actually helps out the regular Synchro Zombies out very well. I have done so many double Omega plays using this card. It is ridiculous. If you open this, Gofu, and a way to get to Unizombie, yeah, you open the nuts, and it's great. 1 Revenants, because being able to banish monsters is really strong. And then for the regular zombie support, 3 Solitaire, 1 Spirit Master, because, yeah, getting to pop a card is good, and getting to Lone Fire is good. 3 Mizuki, because recovery is always good. It's a free Monster Reborn that you can recycle. 2 Unizombie. You only want 2 because of the fact that you can search it out. And you don't want to open too many of these because it gets bricky or cloggy. 2 Gozuki, because double Omega plays are really strong. 3 Blackwing Gofu the Shadow. Yeah, playing this card, I'm still playing Allure. This really helps a lot with that, just being another dark monster. It's a level 5 tuner monster as well, so it works really great with Hound Horde. And then I don't play Proxy Dragon and Deco Talker, and I'll explain why there, just because I like having this card for your level 8 synchro plays. In some cases, level 9. 1 Max C, because it's Max C. For the ritual spell, we're playing 3 of these. This is it's so good. It's just a great ritual spell. Being able to ritual spell from the graveyard is just way too strong, and then being able to protect your Slayer is also really good. 3 pre-prep, because it's pre-prep. Pre-preparation of rights is way better than preparation of rights, just because it lets you add cards. It's a +1, and then preparation of rights is technically a +1, but it's only good in very weird scenarios. I think the only scenario in which I would want preparation of rights is if I get kaiju'd. Yeah, it's just because you can't protect the Slayer in that scenario, and usually people don't kaiju the Slayer. They kaiju the Omega or whatever other synchro that you have, or your Link monster. So yeah, preparation of rights is just not good at the moment in this deck. 3 Allure, yeah, it's Allure. Being able to, like, if you banish a Dark, it's usually not that big of a deal. I banished Slayers off this, recycled it with Omega, and Ritual Summon the Slayer the next turn. It's so good. It also, yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. 2 Pot of Desires, finally, this is budget. This just helps the deck out so much. It helps it keep up with, some of the stuff that's out there. It's so good. I love the fact that this is now fairly cheap. For the last draw card, we're playing 1 Upstart, because 39 cards. And then for the 1-offs, 1 Foolish and 1 Burial, because they're really good in this deck. 3 Strike and 1 Warning for the Somber Brigade, and that's all we're playing for the traps. I decided to cut Vendread Reorigin. It's just, if you want the deck to go as fast as humanly possible, it's not as good. It's an extremely good card, in my opinion. I think it's a really good card, being able to kaiju your opponent, but at the moment, until we get more Vendread support, it's not very conducive in terms, and not very good in terms of forwarding the deck and making it so you can actually get some plays going. For the extra deck, we are playing 2 Omega. I honestly want to bump this up to 3. I just can't. I can find the room for it. I just don't own a third. But in reality, I think 2 is honestly just, if you have 2, play 2. 3 is kind of getting greedy a little bit. 1 Void Ogre. I've opened this so many times. It's nuts. Being able to get a free negate is always good. Beals, because Masterpiece is a thing and it's a solid card. Stardust, because it's one of the better synchros at the moment. Being able to negate destruction and then come back in your main monster zone is always very strong. 1 Clearwing, because it's Clearwing. 1 Black Rose, again, it's one of the stronger synchros just because it leaves the field. 1 Dragon Mech, being able to pop a card is pretty good, and it's a level 9, and sometimes you need the level 9. 1 Levier, because recycling monsters from the Banish Zone is really good. 1 Tornado Dragon, because popping cards is really good. 1 Emerald, because of recovery. And then for the Link monsters, we're playing 3, 2 Link Spider, and a Mrs. Radiant. Okay, so here's why I didn't go with Proxy Dragon and Deco Talker. And the reason for that is because I think Mrs. Radiant is better. Yes, you technically use 1 more space in your extra deck than you normally would, but you actually have a lot of room in your extra deck. And so I took the liberty, decided to go with this. Also, Mrs. Radiant gives you a bit of attack bonus to your Zukis, your Gozuki, or your Mizuki, which can come in handy. It also adds Gozuki back to your hand if you really need to, which is actually kind of okay. But it doesn't give your opponent an extra monster zone on their side of the field, and you really want to keep Gofu on the field because it lets you get to a double Omega or an Omega and a Slayer that can banish spell cards, spell and trap cards. So yeah, I think this is stronger at the moment. We'll see for the future, but currently I think this is better. So just because it gives you more to work with in terms of the main deck. And the deck really likes the Ritual Summon at the moment just because that is very, very strong. Slayer is surprisingly strong when it has the Hound Horde effect attached to it. So with that, guys, thank you guys for watching this deck profile. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a nice day.